Hi, I'm the Errant Shepherd, and this is my good friend.
The Blue Druid.
Yeah, and we're here today to talk to you about our latest version of our fan game for Fire Emblem, the Book of Exiles.
So yeah, we've been working on releasing a patch for 3 years now.
Something like that. But every year we get a little bit closer. We add new graphics, new story. So what would you say sets Book of Exiles apart from the average hack?
The story and characters specifically stick out to me because in my unbiased experience, one of the things I've had the most fun of making this hack is writing the characters and experiencing the story.
Yeah, something we really wanted to have for this fan game was we really wanted a world that felt lived in, a world that felt kind of believable within this kind of fantasy exterior. Was one that different countries that had sort of real sort of histories behind them, different factions that were all competing, not just one big bad dragon lord making everything bad. And hopefully you can see that. And so one idea for the hack from the start was that we wanted to kind of have these four lords that were all exiles in some way, and they all come together to find this Book of Exiles and right the wrongs that are going on in their lands.
Is that technically a spoiler?
Yeah, maybe. So each lord has their own unique tale that you can choose. Right now in this current patch, we have Act 1 for our sword lord named Reyna. She's a mercenary who is hunting for her father's killer. And then we've got also a bow lord, Selah. He's the prince of a foreign nation that's come to the countries of the Avalon Peninsula and is trying to find basically priceless, amazing relic or treasure so that he can return to his home country that he's been banished from. And then third, we've got our Axe Lord. They are a royal knight named Quentin Thane, and they are finding corruption and intrigue in their country, which is supposedly a very upright and wonderful place. And then lastly, there's fourth and final lord, whose chapter we won't get to in the current patch, named Winter, who has the ability to steal magic and is trying to recover her lost identity as she's lost her memories.
So we were at first looking for the first public patch to include Book 1 for Reyna, and each lord will have their own arc, their own story arc that will intertwine with the rest of the lords, and ultimately all of the lords will eventually team up. But for the first patch, we were looking to release the first book for Reyna, which was originally 4 chapters, but we eventually made a guidance chapter, and then we decided to go into Selah's Book 1, which will include 4 chapters, and we might even look into a guidance chapter, and every now and then we keep finding new things to add and old things to fix, and so that and that's it's basically why we keep stalling the release for each year.
Yeah, we really want to have a good solid gameplay experience, good solid graphics. I think we're at a really good point in terms of the graphics. We've completely redone just all the base user interface graphics, so it's got really nice stuff there. We've been redoing some of the music lately. And we've got a custom animation for Reyna that I think people will quite like, hopefully. Yeah, we've been working on some other stuff, like with the Salvaged project. We've kind of worked alongside that, and the current Salvaged petition that we're working on will feature in Quinn's chapters. Yeah, one thing I'm really excited about actually would be the CGs we've got coming for each Lord. We got CG art for Quinn and Reyna and Selah by the excellent Rising Solaris. Does excellent art. If anyone's ever need any commissions, especially of any sort of backgrounds, he is excellent. Very much recommend him. It was great working alongside him.
We are really excited to show these CGs in game. We've been doing our best to downsize them into GBA format, but at the same time still retain the details and the colors.
Yeah,
which has been especially challenging.
So for each of the lords, we really want to try and have kind of a unique story and unique gameplay for their chapters. So you weren't just playing routes for every route. You weren't just doing C's every chapter. Yeah, so Bluid, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So we especially wanted each lord to have a unique feel in terms of gameplay. So each lord has an almost completely unique to them party of units. Like for example, Reyna's party almost exclusively is made out of foot units. Units like bandits and mercenaries, whereas Selah's units are much more agile. He has like several horse units. He has dancer right off the bat. And Selah's party especially is designed for speed and agility. We'll try to implement a lot of more like stealth elements and hit and run tactics with Selah. Whereas with Quinn, we wanted to do a more traditional Fire Emblem party. You have your knights, your cavaliers, your soldiers, and Quinn's party is mostly defensively oriented, but with decent offensive capability. And lastly, with Winter, we haven't gotten to Winter yet. We're still working that out, so look forward to future updates.
Yeah, so we want to talk a little bit about the world for Book of Exiles. So the world we've got here, a world called the Avalon Peninsula, is a place that has many different countries.
And so far we've been crafting like a plethora of different countries. And it's actually not on the map, but we have the Empire of Ibis, which is this large, sprawling empire, which our Lord Selah is from. But he's been exiled for reasons that will become clear to the player later. And he's been traveling through the Barrens, which are very wide, barren fields that have been left destroyed by centuries of magical war. And Selah is basically now treasure hunting throughout these lands. And he finds himself crossing the border into Enduris.
Yeah, and then Enduris is where we find another one of our lords called Quinn. Quinn is a royal knight, and Enduris is basically a very well-off, very prosperous land that has a large standing army and has full complement of these royal knights who go patrolling across the lands and go helping out other countries as well. They see themselves as the protectors of the Avalon. Yeah, and but their main adversaries would be this nation right next to them, the Holy Republic of Trinidos. They're a very zealous, somewhat fanatical adversary that is ruled very harshly by a very harsh, very pious church order called the Order of the Holy Triad that has recently taken power and believes that it must cleanse the lands. Trinidos is often seen as an adversary by many of the other nations, but have mostly kept to themselves, except for many years ago, about 25 years previous to the story, when they devastated the land of Maryland, and all the other nations of Avalon came and attacked them in response to that.
And as a result of the war, Maryland has been infested with brigands and warlords, and they've been gaining power at the expense of a very indifferent nobility. And one of our other lords, Reyna, is currently within Maryland. but she's originally from Rilanos, which is this very old, proud warrior culture. And in Rilanos, the majority of able-bodied adults are actually work as mercenaries. And in Rilanos, it's actually considered a very honorable and proud job to be a mercenary. So you'll encounter a lot of mercenaries from Rilanos. And the player will follow Reina as she travels back from her exile to Rilanos.
Yeah, and the last two sort of larger countries in Avalon are Agralia, which is basically a large farming nation that formerly was part of Maryland, but recently broke off from them. They have quite a lot of political upheaval going on at the moment in the cities, whereas in the country, lots of the farms are just kind of left to their own devices, but something seems to be going after the farmers. Yeah, and then our last and final lord is Winter, and she is found in the icy lands of Colvato in the south. Colvato is a very resource poor nation full of warlords, battling over those resources, battling over territory, and trying to get advantage over one another to try and unite the lands and get better lands from their rivals to the north in Duras and to the east from Trinidos. So, Bluid, what are you most excited about for this upcoming FE3 Book of Exiles release?
Well, I think one of the things I'm most excited about, I would say the story and the characters, because this chef guy really knows his stuff. He really knows how to write a good story.
You're not too bad yourself. I would say for myself, I'm really excited to be finally getting out a public patch. That'll be really good. I'm just really excited to see what people think. If hopefully people enjoy it. We've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of time and effort. We've been really, really lucky to have lots of great friends who've helped out with art, lots of great friends, and other playtesters and who've had feedback on the story and plot and just all the other different ways we could improve it. And hopefully we'll just keep improving it and have something that is just really enjoyable and just really, really good quality for everyone involved.
Unfortunately, it's been kind of a bad year in terms of progress for the hack. We've both been pretty busy in our lives, but despite that, we still try to make time to work towards public release. We're pretty positive that we can have a public release with the 9 to 10 chapters in about mid to late October.
Yeah, and we hope everyone who listens is looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to seeing what you think. Thanks so much to everyone who's been following us for a while. Yeah, have a great and safe rest of your 2021. Take care. This is Shep saying peace.
And love.
From Bluid. Bye.
Bye-bye.